Welcome to another episode with your boy Rasheen Winter Harris. Back with ShaqD for part 2. We're going to be talking about the dark side of casting in the industry. All right. Let's get to it.
It's Candid Talk where we lay it down. No room for fakes, we wear the crown.
Alright, so for one, when it comes to casting, when it comes to like independent versus the industry, well, we've been casting for a few different things. Like, can you give us a quick? For one, we met each other. I'm gonna just share it on P Valley. We was both casting on P Valley. That's how we met each other overall. And for me, that was my beginning of getting casted for projects and stuff like that. So that was a wild experience.
It was.
So between the dances and everything that we doing. It's awesome. What was some of the, like, say, the projects you was casting for? Like, share that real quick. Or memorable ones, I'm gonna say.
Right. So the more prominent ones would probably be Greenleaf. And Greenleaf, I was featured choir, but the choir was huge, so you might find me in Where's Waldo World. Star, I had a nice little moment where I was standing right in the shot of the camera while the actors were there, so I got seen on that one. And then probably, the one that I did not remember until just now, the film Tomorrow War.
I don't know that one.
Tomorrow War was great. And I only say that because I'm usually a person that don't like props. But man, the props we had for Tomorrow War, the rifles, the whole harnesses and stuff like that, bro, I felt like a badass, bro. But the thing was, they kept me in my preppy look because you know how I usually wear slacks and button-ups. So I had that on and I was geared up like I was ready for war.
Oh, no, that's lit. Yeah, that's lit. That's lit. I definitely like projects like that because I think I only did that with a show. What was it? I can't even remember the show, but it was like an FBI joint where we had to wear the gear and all that. I've done a few military ones too, but yeah, I think sometimes when the props are like that, then it's fun.
Bro, it gets a little more exciting. But when they just hand you a prop and you got to stand there and hold it,
it's like, what's going on?
I don't want that.
What's one of those projects that you remember that gave you a prop or something that you had to work with that you was just like, I'm not really feeling this. Has there ever been one where you just like, this doesn't make sense to me?
Okay, so Will Trent. That's one I just remember because it was recent.
Yeah. I'm familiar.
We're at the rodeo and then you give me a soda to hold. Like, it's not a soda in here though because it's props. So it's like, why did you give me this? So I put it on the ground.
So
why are you laughing, man?
Because I know the prop people will be mad with you, and they just like
they always mad with me.
Yeah, they gonna be mad with you.
Because anytime I'm in a scene and they hand me something to drink that is not a real drink that I can't drink that I gotta hold and just have in my hand and for no reason, I know it makes the scene full.
Yeah.
But on that one, I was so back far from the camera that it wouldn't matter if I had a prop in my hand or not. They can't see me.
Nah, that's crazy.
So stop giving me stuff.
Nah, I feel it. So as far as like casting, because I know a lot of people think casting is just you get booked and then I made it, they're gonna see me. Explain how casting actually is for somebody that's seeing it for the first time, or at least from the outside looking in. Because they think we just gonna be seen on TV a lot of time. But explain the dark side of what casting actually is.
Well, I might as well run it.
Yeah, give me a rundown.
All right. So first and foremost, castings aren't easy, but they get easier. First and foremost, you got to know where to look. And if you don't know where to look,
that's major.
You can't even get started. So a lot of people ask me all the time, where do I get most of my castings from? There are a plethora of Facebook groups where they'll take castings from major places and put them in their groups, and everyone can go there and just find them. But there is actual straight up access to, because sometimes they might miss some. Sometimes they might not post it because they want it or whatever, what have you. So you got to be careful with the gatekeeping of it all. So finding castings, that's the first dark side because it's not all as easy as it's cracked up to be. And
That
then
part
if
is
you're
real.
really looking for some good roles and looking for speaking roles, those things are
That's
on
a fact.
platforms that charge you a subscription. So if you really don't have the money for that subscription, then you just
You can't expect to be heard
or seen.
or seen. Yeah, that's a fact.
Expect to be heard or seen because
Mm-hmm.
you might.
It's possible.
It's very much possible.
Yeah, but it's
Back
very
of your
rare.
head, elbow.
Yeah, back of your head, elbow.
You know what I'm saying?
That blur, that shadow was me.
I just walked past that window. That was the color shirt I
That's
had
me
on.
crossing. Yeah, that's my shirt. Yeah, nah. That's definitely major because I think a lot of people, especially like with friends and family, because they always like, oh, I want to see you.
Right.
Because I know for me, like starting out, especially being on P Valley, like that was such a major show. At least the anticipation of it and coming out.
Right,
Like, I was expecting to be seen, so I started telling my friends and family, like, "Yo, expecting it to be here." I started getting what they called a feature background
Right.
role, which I didn't understand what a feature background role is.
Features
I
are
thought that
cool.
means they'll see me. Can you explain to the people what a feature background role actually is? Cause I know you have a little bit more experience than
So
I. But
featured means features means not as big as what you might be feeling right now when you heard the word and know that it's different than just doing background.
yeah.
Okay, so featured, you can be featured as a particular role that not a lot of people would be doing in a scene. So bartender, waitress, mailman, stuff like that, where you're seen probably, and I say probably because you never know, they might not even use the clip, but you
That
may be
part.
seen, but there are no lines. Okay.
And then what I learned from feature as well is that sometimes it means that you're gonna be in an intimate scene with the actors. So that means like the feature doesn't necessarily mean you're gonna be featured, but it means it's a feature scene for the actors.
Right.
So you're featured there with the actors. So sometimes just prepare yourself just to be in a more sensitive scene than the rest of the background actors. You know what I mean? So, but have you ever had to, I guess, backtrack or at least look for those roles, like look for yourself in those scenes? And have you ever experienced like the upset? Because like I said, it was kind of heartbreaking when I thought I was going to see myself in this feature role in the champagne room on P Valley. I ain't gonna lie, y'all hurt my feelings. I thought I was gonna be with Mercedes. Mercedes is bad.
Okay, so let's just say
Sorry.
when it comes to featured roles, I've had a few, and some I've seen myself. And then when you talk about the one that disappointed because I didn't get to see myself, would probably be well, I'm gonna say it's Black Panther because in Black Panther there was a whole lot going on with my feature. I was supposed to be the featured fisherman, and there's a bunch of tattoos that they put on me all over my face and on my hands and stuff. So I figured, oh, they're gonna see me. I'm gonna get me a nice little shot because they don't go through all of this, making me come to set an hour early to do this and not put me in.
Yeah, of course they're gonna put you in, right? They did all that makeup, all that extra design stuff. That reminds me of the color purple for me, because they made me cut my beard off, they
All
shaved
that.
my hair down. I kind of kept it short after that for a while, because I was
Right.
just like, damn.
Right.
But yeah.
You hurt my personality.
Yeah.
All that was a piece of my personality.
All my personality. So
It's gone.
yeah. I think that's a major thing for people to remember as well. So if you're gonna do these adjustments, and you gotta have that passion like we talked about previously. You gotta have passion for what you're doing.
Yep.
That way you're not, I guess, lost in the fields, because you can get lost in the field. Especially me, like I said, that hurt my heart because I told my aunts, my cousins, my sister,
Too
brother,
many people.
too many people, and they was just like, "Yo, where were you in the?"
We didn't see you.
I didn't see. So yeah, things like that is something to remember about casting. But overall, give me like a rundown of like the dark side of actually being a background actor, because I believe a lot of people get their chances from background sometimes, or at least that you learn the game from background. So just give a rundown for the people that's aspiring to do this.
Okay. Now, See, you asking for that, but that's a lot. So you want me to run them fast, or you want me to talk about them?
You could give we could break down. I say break down the ones that you find that you should break down, because otherwise, if it's self-explanatory, like for one, let's say if you late, I think is one that is key. You might have to go back home. Don't be late, because they have a cutoff time sometimes. Even if they say they're gonna catch a certain amount of people, that's gonna be number one for me. Be on time. Because the dark side is that you just wasted an hour drive, especially if you're in our areas. You wasted an hour drive, you brought luggage, all this other, etc. But if you late,
You could end up being turned around, sent home without pay.
without pay,
Without pay. No gas money, no
no
nothing.
gas money, no nothing. So I think that's major, because some people just don't take it as serious, but they just don't know those type of things. They think 5 minutes late. I could be 2 minutes late. No, you can't be. You
The
can't be a
cutoff
minute
time
late.
is the
Sometimes.
cutoff time.
Yeah, because they'll wrap it up on purpose just to let you know.
And a favorite phrase of mine, which is where I now get my, punctuality from, to be on time is to be early. To be early is to be something like that. What the thing is?
So to be early is to be on time,
And to be on time is to be late.
Yeah, exactly.
That. Okay. So yeah. Call time is not that's what time you show up.
This should be with
And
anything.
that's a term
honestly.
that you will learn once you do your castings, but
Yeah.
call time is not the time that you show up. Call time is the time that you should have been there already and
Checked
be
in.
checked in, hair and makeup ready to go type situation. Now, mind you, I say that doesn't mean that that's how it's always going to be, because sometimes you'll get there and the production crew ain't even there yet when they're supposed to be there an hour before you.
You just don't know.
You just don't know. And that's another dark side. It's very unpredictable. Meaning you could go for a casting and they tell you booked, and they boy can tell you that the date has changed and we're no longer filming that scene or something.
That
And
part.
now you've taken off work, being prepared to go to these people's set, and then they're not doing it anymore. So now you took off for no reason. You lost a day of money.
Yeah, that's real. That's real.
So that's a dark side that I don't like. The unpredictability of it all. Like he said, being late, can't be late. When you get there, know that either you're going to be a part of a small cast where things might be a little bit easier for you, but then there's what we call cattle calls, which is a dark side for me, only because I don't like
hate
a lot of
cattle
people.
calls. Yeah, I'm a big antisocial kind of person. I'm an introvert overall. It's not antisocial, but I do have anxiety for being around big crowds.
Well, I don't have anxiety. I just don't like people.
Yeah, I do. I get just like being in traffic for too long personally, because I'm also from New York, so I don't like lines. You know what I mean? So
I
like
don't like lines.
when you have a cattle call, like lines is something that you have to get used to if you're in a cattle call. There is no way around a line.
So I'm gonna just say, if you're not patient, if you don't have patience, this isn't the field for you.
Yeah, no.
Because besides the lines, once you get in there, you've gone and checked in, you went to wardrobe and stood in line and got them to get you dressed, either with what you had on already sometimes, because they tell you to bring several outfits and then they look at you and tell you, oh, that works. And now you got a whole bunch of luggage you brought for no reason.
Yo.
So then you go through hair and makeup, and then you did all this stuff to your hair, and then they go in there and they change your hair up. You thought you looked fine when you left the house,
part.
but they just wanted to touch your hair and make you look like someone's auntie or a crackhead. You never know. Then you go to makeup, and when they go to makeup, most of the time they ask you, do you have this color, whatever you use on your skin or whatever, and then they make you look like these old school ones with the blush on the cheek and all that, have you looking like clowns out there. But it's their production, so whatever they do, you really kind of go with it.
Yeah.
Okay, beyond that, the hurry up and wait. You done went through all of this. They done called y'all and said over and over again, you need you guys to check in. We need you guys to get checked in. We're going to be going in soon. We're going in 5 minutes. 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 And then you're just sitting there So be prepared. Have some books. Have something to entertain
Have a
yourself.
game.
Bring your own snacks, because sometimes the crafty be shitty, and crafty is basically the
That's
snack
major.
table.
Snack table,
And the
facts.
snack table most of the time has water,
Definitely
animal
gonna have
crackers, and some fruit.
Fruit snacks too. They will
If
give you candy.
They get you fruit.
Well,
snacks.
yeah, if they.
Because you know we've been on some where there's some
I've been to some
beautiful
productions where they
Water.
water,
animal crackers, fruit. That's it.
or they give you the variety pack of chips.
Now the variety pack of chips is an upgrade.
That's an upgrade.
Yes.
I need the animal. I want
Because
the
I'm gonna tell you right now, I done been on some sets where the variety pack has been the Sam's Club variety pack.
You know that.
Not even the
yeah,
Doritos, Cheetos. It's some stuff that they chip barely holding the seasoning. Like what the hell? Anywho, let's talk about the food a little bit more. When you are the background, you get a separate buffet.
Prepare for this. Yeah,
Crew, main character, cast, feature, whatever, they can eat at this
gonna
fancy
eat good.
buffet. They grill you your own
Personal chef.
personal whatever's you order or whatnot from all the ingredients that they have around. And then over here for the background actors, there's a table with two choices: chicken or beef. And then you move down the line and it might be rice or mashed potatoes. And then there's a vegetable that's really wet with no seasoning. And then there's salad and fruit and water, lemonade, or iced tea if they did good. Because it might just be water.
That's
and
the
tea.
dark side of it, because not every production is.
Not
gonna
everyone.
have- yeah. So this is the dark side. I just want to share because most people are like, "What? I'm not
Well,
going to
damn,
that."
I'm not doing this at all.
So that's how you know the difference in the, I would say, the scaling of the budget of production or the level of the production. Because sometimes you'll get a bit of that as well. But if it's a cattle call, like we originally said, you got to expect it to be the lesser.
The lesser.
Yeah, so the cattle calls, they gotta feed so many people. You can't expect
Right.
to get that high
So,
quality. But yeah, facts on that.
There are times where you might get the elementary school bag lunch.
That's the worst one.
Now, if you get the elementary school bag lunch, just know
You ain't
it's a
gonna
wrap.
You ain't gonna be there that long either. With those, you're not supposed to.
You're not supposed to,
But there's some that'll work you.
You might run into. I'm just saying.
Yeah.
But
That's when you really learn in the industry, learning which,
right.
because that's the one that's probably gonna work.
Now, if you get a box lunch and they got like some famous deli's name on it,
Yeah.
then that's a little step up. You might be good.
Those are
'cause
not
they
bad.
gonna load them.
Yeah.
But
I've been
if
on a
it's-
few like that for
if it's
sure.
box lunch, no, you're gonna get that one box and that's it.
What else? What else is dark on the casting side?
Having to repeat the scene over and over again, especially if you got an action.
That's
to do,
actually facts.
running, walking, standing all day long. Like you're gonna have to be there for a while, and you're gonna have to do it over and 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 over again.
That's another reason why I'm still mad at Color Purple. Not only did y'all have me cut my beard, mustache, all this stuff, but y'all had us dancing.
It was a musical.
It was a musical. I know, but come on, dog. You could at least show a little piece of that. Let me get a little picture. Show a picture of me. Because even P Valley, they cut a lot of my scenes, but the episode with Nicki Minaj, you see me in the flash right next to her. I mean, not Nicki. I'm my bad. I'm sorry. Meg Thee Stallion. Excuse me. Correction. Oh, they gonna be tight about that. They gonna be tight about that one. I'm sorry, she the knockoff version of me. I said what I said.
Oh,
anyway.
Oh, the barbs are coming for you.
Anyway, no, I love the barbs. I'm saying the Meg Thee Stallion is the opposite, the knockoff version of Nicki.
Okay.
No.
I started to say.
No.
Make sure you clarify that.
I will not disrespect
podcast was
the
about to get shut
queen.
down.
The queen.
Okay.
We know the queen
Just
of
checking.
rap. We know who the
Okay.
queen of rap is. Let's go with the bars. Shout out Nicki Minaj. But anyway, like I said, that you gotta at least show me in the flash. They have me right next to Meg. They at least show me in the flash. But them other productions is crazy.
Right.
But overall, I think this is a good insight for somebody that's actually, let's see.
But
I say
before we
questionable.
end, we got to talk about the leaving.
Oh, leaving is a
Cattle
that's
call.
the dark. Let's get to it. That's probably the darkest part, at least for me, because after a long, most of these are. I say the minimum is 8 hours. I have never been on a production that. Oh, I have been on something that was really short, just because they
That
called
was
us
the
in
thing.
later. You know what I
No.
mean? That was the only ones that were short.
I've
But
had
most of
ones
the time,
where they set us up to come in at this time, and another set to come in at this time, and another set to come in at this time. So you know when that next set come, you gone. So
gone.
those are the
those
shortest
are the only
ones I've
short
been on.
ones. Yeah. So you gotta expect to be there at least 12 hours. But
At least
leaving,
12.
You're tired, and if it's a cattle call, honestly, if it's more than 30, 20 people. I'm gonna
it's
say
more
it
than
feels
20?
it feels like it's a hard to
An
get out.
eternity.
Yeah, it's an eternity.
Oh my gosh.
Because
I
not
hate
only,
lines.
especially if it's one of those productions where they're actually giving you costumes and stuff like that, you gotta check the outfits out. You can't get your ID back because they normally take your ID, you got collateral, etc. So you gotta get that to get out of there. Then you gotta go through the signing out part because a lot of productions they don't use digital. They have the paperwork, so you gotta get your paperwork signed because you want to get paid. If you leave
Right.
without getting it signed, you're not getting
You're
paid.
not getting paid.
Or even with the digital ones now, I don't know if you noticed, but they'll check you out at the end to make sure you stayed the
Yeah.
entire time. So not only you dealing with that, that's 2 lines already. Now we're getting into the parking lot.
Oh.
Not only are we trying to leave, they're letting crew out. Crew is leaving.
Some of them.
Some of them. But the main, the ones that be trying to slide out of there. So we got to deal with that, everything else. But yeah, getting out of a set.
I'm going to say this. The darkest side for me, and this is absolute darkest side for me.
Yeah.
You work today, you get paid next month. Or later.
The later is the part that kills me. That's actually, honestly, we could end it on that note because I think everybody is always concerned about pay and thinking about pay. And that's one thing you got to be aware of when it comes to this acting thing. They have productions, they have to, they do it in a time frame where they're going per quarter or per month basis. You know what I mean? Some of them are, you know what I mean? So as soon as that goes through on the production side, the production people get paid first and then you get paid last as background. And that's just facts. So, yeah. Overall, yeah, this should give some people some insight about the game, especially the dark side of casting. We're gonna have to do another one of these once we can think of some more. But it's a whole lot of parts of the dark side of, I would say, acting. But the casting part for background, I think we gotta hit it right on the nail.
Right. But
Yeah.
we don't say all of this to deter anyone.
No.
We just say it all to
Just to
let
be
you
aware.
know if this is not your passion,
Yeah.
you might want to find something else to do.
That's a fact.
And if you're not really trying to be an actor for real, and I'm speaking to those of you that already do it, so if you're offended by what I'm about to say, then so be it. But if you're not trying to be an actor for real, go sit down. Y'all in the way.
Hey, you heard it here. It is.
It is what I said. Go sit down.
But that's all we have for you today. Dark Side of Casting on Candid Talk. Here again. I'm actually had to bring you back. I got some other topics I want to talk about outside of production as well. Because you keep it funky and I actually like that. So if y'all like ShaqD, pause. We're going to say Shaq. If y'all like ShaqD, put it in the comments that y'all want to see some more Shaq. But for all everything, I just appreciate y'all for watching. But don't forget to hit that like, comment, and share. And until next time, peace to the God, peace to the goddess, and peace. Yeah, that was